If you want to see more quick tips for your favorite Clash Royale cards, please subscribe and hit the bell. Let's start the countdown. Number 10. Adding bats to your bridge unit push is a great way to punish tornado or fisherman users. Splitting your bats is the optimal strategy for using splittable bridge units as well. Number 9. Combine skeletons and bats in your deck. One's a cheap swarm card for ground and one's a cheap swarm card for air, and not only are they a great pair for cycle decks, especially minor cycle decks, but of course you could bait out enemy spells with one or the other too. Number 8. Place your bats in the center of your lane to avoid them having to catch up with the enemy troops and delaying their attacks. But keep in mind that if they have their zap, it's better to place them on top of the troop to get in as much damage before the bats die. Number 7. When people use ground swarms, dragging things to the middle is an obvious instinct, but remember that you can do that with bats too. Utilize this and the fact that they're air swarms to kite and damage single targeting air units. But if they have an air spell available, then they'll die without landing any damage. In this scenario where they have zap, it will be better to surround that unit to get at least some damage rather than none. Number 6. Against certain enemy troops on defense, use your bats at the last second so that less bats die and more can go on to counterattack. Number 5. One of the key elements of bats are that they're the fastest air units in the game. When one of your troops has finished defending and goes to cross the bridge with some health left, take advantage of the hidden counter push ability. Even with that troop tanking just a few hits from the tower means that the bats can quickly get to the tower to land some damage. Number 4. Bats pair up very well with the miner, especially for how fast the bats move and their cheap cost. But don't play them wrong. The enemy can get value by waiting for the bats to get close to where the miner is and zap both. Make sure your miner is not near the front of the tower when using your bats. Number 3. In terms of strategy, you'll want to make sure that your deck cycles fast enough to outcycle their cheap air spell. This will give your high DPS bats a larger advantage during the match, and it'll make the enemy more prone to negative trades. Number 2. Try this trick. If enemy spells keep ruining your miner and bat attacks, and you know they also don't have tornado, split your bats up and drop your miner on either of these tiles. Both towers get distracted, and you got yourself an effective split lane attack. And number 1, when a firecracker reaches this area, drop your bats on this tile. You thought only solid units can have her activate the king? Think again. Wait, if you want to see all the quick tips cards I've covered, click this link. Subscribe if you want more Ernie C3 content.